What do you get when a poet stands before a work of art, letting the wonders of that work spill into them? If we're lucky, we get an ekphrastic poem, which means a poem about a work of art. The interfusion of the visual and literary arts has always been a fertile one. I can't imagine Rilke's poetry without his experiences of the works of Rodin, and a strong case has been made that the greatest influence on Melville's Moby Dick after Milton and Shakespeare were the paintings of Turner. Moby Dick, in turn, influenced the work of some of the abstract expressionists in striking and inspiring ways. The reciprocal interfusion between the visual arts and literature enriches both worlds. This September, there's a booktube event exploring the interaction between books and art in an art marathon created by Hannah called Framed in September. It looks fabulous, and I will supply links below. We see that interaction between the visual arts and writing played out all the time in something as simple as a striking cover of a book enhancing our reading of that work. But in truth, painters and poets and novelists have always worked with a keen awareness of each other's disciplines, and a mutual fertilization is always at work between the different art forms. But ekphrastic poetry is a particularly vital part of that enrichment. Bruegel's The Fall of Icarus becomes a considerably more magical painting after reading Auden's great ekphrastic poem, Musée des Beaux-Arts. So imagine it is 1960 and it is the poet Anne Sexton who is standing directly in front of Van Gogh's greatest painting. She has just published From Bedlam and Beyond, which takes her own life and mind and desires and demons as its poetic subject. Along with the posthumously published Ariel by Sylvia Plath and Life Studies by Robert Lowell, Sexton's book will break the world of poetry clean open, creating new territories of life and the inward mind for it to unabashedly explore and represent, and save future generations from a sense of isolation at the strangeness of their own minds. Standing there in 1960 before Starry Night, Sexton already knew the 1889 painting was a bit self-consciously elegiacal, since the two final years of Van Gogh's furious creative period had already started when he painted it. There was a profound awareness in Van Gogh's late work of ending and of finality. Death is the mother of beauty, Wallace Stevens wrote, and Sexton, aware of her own mortality and her own mortal body, was always claiming her own dying as a vital part of her life. Perhaps half in love with easeful death, that deathly awareness both soaked through and energized Sexton's poems, just as it had energized Van Gogh's work. So, of course, this painting with its night sky on fire, its subjective rather than objective vision, its sense of beauty as something so ravishing and even convulsive that it explodes out from the canvas, appealed to Sexton. But more than that, it was something of a mirror of her own life and identity. Within the year, Sexton's poem, Starry Night, will be published in the magazine The Nation. Then, in 1962, it will be published as the third poem in Sexton's new book, All My Pretty Ones. The poem begins by quoting a letter of Vincent to his brother Theo. That does not keep me from having a terrible need of, shall I say the word, religion. Then I go out at night and paint the stars. Starry Night by Anne Sexton. The town does not exist, except where one black-haired tree slips up like a drowned woman into the hot sky the town is silent. The night boils with 11 stars. Oh, starry, starry night, this is how I want to die. It moves. They are all alive. Even the moon bulges in its orange irons to push children like a god from its eye. The old unseen serpent swallows up the stars. Oh, starry, starry night, this is how I want to die. Into that rushing beast of the night, sucked up by that great dragon to spit from my life with no flag, no belly, no cry. If you want an example of how one art spills into another in an unceasing series of transformations, consider this. Van Gogh wasn't always a painter. Before he was a painter, he was a poetry and Bible and God intoxicated preacher. And in his paintings, he found a different kind of sacredness in the experience of the visible world and through discovering a visual language to express the ravishing and essentially divine beauty that is part of the world. Now, look at the lines of Sexton's poem, and especially the rhythm when she writes, "Oh, starry, starry night, this is how I want to die." Is it familiar? Starry, starry night, this is how I want to die. Da, 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 da. Of course, MacLean uses different words, but there is an origin there, a beginning. That's what happens. Poetry or art streams forward into the unfinished and the unbegun, finding realization in a future medium. And what about Anne Sexton standing there in 1960 before the painting? Who was she and who will she become? I'll let her speak for herself.
Music swims back to me. Wait, mister. Which way is home? They turned the light out and the dark is moving in the corner. There are no signposts in this room. 4 ladies over 80 in diapers, every one of them. Oh, la, la, la. Oh, music swims back to me, and I can feel the tune they played the night they left me in this private institution on a hill. Imagine it, a radio playing, and everyone here was crazy. I liked it and danced in a circle. Music pours over the sense, and in a funny way. Music sees more than I mean, it remembers better. Remembers the first night here. It was the strangled cold of November. Even the stars were strapped in the sky, and that moon too bright, forking through the bars to stick me with a singing in the head. I have forgotten all the rest. They locked me in this chair at 8 a.m., and there are no signs to tell the way. Just the radio beating to itself and the song that remembers more than I. Oh, la, la, la. This music swims back to me. The night I came, I danced a circle and was not afraid. Mister,